What if I told you that men who've had a lot of experience with women, and I mean a lot, actually expose themselves without even realizing it? No, not like that. Get your mind out of the gutter. I'm talking about the words they use. Psychology says there are certain phrases men with a very, let's say, active past repeat over and over, and once you know them, it's like having a cheat code. You'll instantly see the player hiding under that "I'm just a nice guy" smile. And trust me, when you hear phrase number 3, you'll never look at casual conversations the same way again. Now, let's get this straight. Just because a guy says one of these lines doesn't mean he's been running around like some discount Casanova. But psychology is about patterns. And when the same lines keep popping up, well, that's when you raise an eyebrow or both. Think of it like this. If a guy keeps saying bro every other sentence, you don't need Sherlock Holmes to figure out he's a gym rat. In the same way, these 7 lines are verbal fingerprints left behind by men who've definitely seen more than just a few first dates. And today, we're decoding them with a mix of humor, honesty, and maybe just a little bit of shade. Line number 1, I don't do labels. Ah, the classic, I don't do labels, ladies. This one's like the national anthem of men who've had way too many situationships. Translation: I want all the benefits of being your boyfriend without ever being called your boyfriend. Psychology explains this as a commitment avoidance tactic. When someone has a history of bouncing from partner to partner, the last thing they want is to be boxed into a definition like boyfriend or exclusive. Labels are scary because labels mean rules. Rules mean accountability. And accountability means he can't just disappear on a Friday night with excuse that his Wi-Fi stopped working. Here's the funny part. Guys who say I don't do labels still expect you to act like a girlfriend. Cook for them, yes, please. Emotional support at 3 a.m., of course. But call them your boyfriend. Suddenly, they're allergic. So, next time you hear this line, don't just take it as he's chill. Take it as this man has been around the block and he doesn't want anyone putting a street sign on him. Line number 2, we don't need to talk about the past. Oh boy, here we go. We don't need to talk about the past. Translation: if you knew my past, you probably run faster than I can chase. Now, here's the psychology. People with messy or complicated histories often use avoidance as a defense mechanism. By shutting down the conversation about their past, they think they're protecting the relationship from judgment. But in reality, what they're protecting is their carefully curated image. Think about it. If his past was one ex-girlfriend from high school, he wouldn't care about telling you. He'd laugh it off and move on. But if his past looks more like the cast of an entire Netflix series, suddenly he's Mr. Privacy, and let's be real, whenever a guy says the past doesn't matter, it usually matters a lot. That's like your boss saying, don't worry about the fine print on your contract. Excuse me. The fine print is exactly where the skeletons are buried. Humor aside, this phrase is all about withholding information. It doesn't always mean disaster, but paired with other red flags, you might want to ask, what exactly are we avoiding here? Line number 3, I just go with the flow. Ah, yes, the flow. The magical river where accountability drowns and commitment floats away like a paper boat. When a man says, I just go with the flow, what he really means is, I've gotten very good at keeping things casual and I plan to stay that way. From a psychological perspective, this is what researchers call a low investment strategy. Men who've had many short-term partners often rely on this mindset. It keeps things fun, flexible, and free of future obligations. Basically, it's the perfect environment for someone who's not looking to stick around long-term. Now, don't get me wrong, going with the flow sounds harmless. Who doesn't want to relax and see where life takes them? But here's the catch. If you're the one secretly hoping for something serious, going with the flow is basically a soft, polite way of saying, I'm not planning our future. I'm planning my escape route. And the funniest part, the flow always seems to flow in one direction, straight toward his convenience. He's not flowing into meeting your parents. He's not flowing into discussing exclusivity. Nope. The flow somehow always ends at his couch, Netflix on, phone face down. So, next time you hear this phrase, remember he's not floating aimlessly. He's been on this lazy river before many times, and he's perfected the art of jumping off before it reaches commitment falls. Line number 4, we had a thing, but it wasn't serious. Ah, yes, the classic, it wasn't serious. Ladies, if you collected $1 every time a man said this, you'd be richer than Jeff Bezos by now. Here's a psychology. This is called minimization. It's when people downplay experiences so they don't seem as significant. Men who've been with a lot of women tend to shrink every past relationship into just a thing. Why? Because if they admitted every one of them was serious, you start realizing he's been serious with the entire zip code. And let's be honest, not serious is just code for we texted at 2 a.m. She fed me pizza rolls and I disappeared after 3 weeks. It's a polite way of hiding a history full of many relationships. So, next time you hear it wasn't serious, don't just shrug. Translate it properly. It wasn't serious to me. But if you ask her, oh, it was definitely serious. Line number 5. I'm not like other guys. Ah, the oldest trick in the Playboy handbook. I'm not like other guys. News flash. If he has to say it, he probably is. Psychologists call this impression management. It's when someone actively tries to shape how others see them. Men who've been around know the stereotypes, so they go for the ultimate reverse Uno card. Don't lump me in with those other guys. But here's the kicker. The men who actually aren't like other guys never say this. Their actions prove it. The ones who shout it from the rooftops, usually trying to distract you from the fact that their dating history looks like the extended cast of Fast and Furious. Saying, I'm not like other guys, is basically the male equivalent of saying, trust me, I'm totally over my ex. The more they say it, the less believable it becomes. Line number 6, I don't believe in settling down too young. On the surface, this one sounds smart. I don't believe in settling down too young. Like, wow, Socrates, thank you for the wisdom. But in psychology terms, this is a justification strategy. It's a way of making temporary decisions sound like long-term philosophies. Men with high partner turnover often use this to normalize why they're still keeping their options open. Translation, I'm not against marriage. I'm just against marriage anytime soon. Like in this decade. And the funniest part, this line usually comes from men who are not actually too young. They'll say it at 28, at 35, at 42, still too young to settle down. If you ask them at 65, they'll probably say, well, I don't want to rush things. Line number 7, I just need my space. Finally, the grand finale, I just need my space. This phrase has been used so many times, it deserves its own retirement ceremony. Psychology links it to fear of intimacy. Men who've had a lot of casual partners often hit this point when things start getting real. And by real, I mean you're starting to expect accountability. What space usually means is, I like you, but not enough to give up my freedom. Here's the kicker. People who actually need space communicate it with balance. They'll say, hey, I just need some me time this weekend. But the guy who slept around, he uses space as an escape hatch. Translation, I want to hit pause without looking like the bad guy. And once you hear it, you'll notice how conveniently timed it is. always right after you ask for clarity, definition, or commitment. Coincidence? I think not. Psychology reveal connecting the dots. Now, here's the deal. One of these lines by itself doesn't mean he's secretly Casanova too. 0. But when you start hearing 3, 4, or heaven forbid all 7, psychology says it's a pattern. And patterns don't lie. These phrases together reveal a mindset. Casual, non-committal, and often shaped by a history of multiple partners. It's not about shaming him. It's about recognizing the signs so you can decide whether his flow matches your future. So, which of these lines have you heard before? Drop it in the comments. Then trust me, you'll want to stick around because in the next video, I'm breaking down exact opposite the phrases men only say when they're serious about.